Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Tuesday, the 19th of July 2022. Today's Mill news: a signing, the fifth one that I told you about yesterday, the medical, it has been confirmed, and possibly a chance of another one. But before we get to that, I wanted to show you this. Now, finally, we have on YouTube, free for everyone to see, the highlights from the Colchester United game. As you can see, it's not that much, it's 2 minutes and 24 seconds. It's now available to watch on Colchester United FC channel, and I will warn you, the sound is absolutely atrocious. It sounds like it was filmed on recorded on a potato. So that was all. There's not much to see. There's Jake Cooper's goal, Jake Cooper's horrible tackle, George Long's point blank double save, and apart from that's basically it. And Ryan Leonard's two chances a fluff. So I told you about the Dartford highlights on their YouTube channel. It was at 1,000 views when I told you. After right now it's about 6,000. So I'm sure you all watched it, spread it out there, told everyone where to find it. Let's see if we can do the same for this video. It's on 431 views. Let's see if we can get up to 2,000. Finally available on YouTube. It was on MillwallTV yesterday. It's now on YouTube, Colchester United FC. So let's move on to the actual proper news. Jamie Shackleton signs season-long loan at Millwall. Done deal. Passed his medical with flying colours. So let's have a read of this. This is from millwallfc.co.uk. Millwall Football Club is delighted to announce the signing of Jamie Shackleton on a season-long loan from Leeds United. The versatile youngster becomes Gary Rowetts' fifth summer signing and is the second player to join from Ellen Road, following fellow academy graduate Charlie Cresswell to the club. The 22-year-old possesses Sky Bet Championship and Premier League experience and was part of the White squad, which won promotion to the top tier in 2019-20, making 24 appearances. Shackleton then appeared 17 and 16 times respectively for Leeds as they adjusted to life in the Premier League in 2020-21 and 21-22. Shackleton joined his new teammates for the first time on Tuesday morning and is available for selection for the Lions pre-season friendly against Hammarby on Wednesday night. So there you are, and that is available on Millwall TV. You can see it there. More on that later, but yes, let me just get back to so Premier League experience. Yes, we now have a number of players who have played in the Premier League. Scott Malone, George Honeyman, Benica Phobie, Charlie Cresswell, Jamie Shackleton, all played in the Premier League. Why is that good? In order for a championship team to be at the top of the championship, they need to have very good players. Very good players who will be capable of playing in the Premier League. And we have some of those now. And it's those players who should be able to get you up to the top of the championship. And if you look at any team at the top of the championship, you'll see, if you analyse the squad, we'll say, well, that player could be a Premier League squad player. That player could do in the Premier League. We now have that. We now have some of those. We have a number of players who could be in the Premier League squads. And even Bart Biakowski, he could be a backup goalkeeper in the Premier League. It's not beyond the realms of possibility. A lot of players have done it when they've got to his age. Just gone to the Premier League for the easy money, become second or third choice keeper, and not really do anything. Just keep themselves fit by training and practice, act as a goalkeeper in the practice. So he could be a Premier League player as well. So we have a number of players. So this is a very interesting development for us. We have quality players who are good enough to play in the Premier League, but for whatever reason, circumstances, whatever, they're not able to play in the Premier League constantly, so they've dropped down to the Championship. And there is a big gulf in the top of the Championship and the Premier League. There is a massive gulf, but if you want to get the top of the Championship, you need to have players who are Premiership quality, and we have some of them now. This is very interesting, very interesting. So we're going to hear from Gary Rowetts, but before that, this is from londonnewsonline.co.uk. The lowdown on Millwall loan signing Jamie Shackleton, another really impressive Leeds prospect, heads to SE16. Jamie Shackleton is Millwall's fifth signing in the summer transfer window. The 22-year-old has joined from Leeds United on a season-long loan and follows in the footsteps of Charlie Cresswell. So he's still only 22. He's done all this. He's had 2 seasons in the Premier League. He's only 22. That's probably why we get him, because he's still quite young and he's only a bit part player. He needs to play more, and they can't play him more in the Premier League because he's not really at that level in his career yet, because he's still a young player. What do we know? Shackleton played for Kippax Athletic Football Club in Castleford as a youngster before joining Leeds in 2006 at the age of 7. The midfielder has made 68 appearances and scored 2 goals for Leeds since making his debut in their 2-1 victory over Bolton Wanderers in the EFL Cup on August 14th, 2018. He was part of the 2021 team that was promoted to the Premier League as a Championship title winner, following their 4-0 victory at home against Charlton Athletic on the final day of the campaign. He's won this league. He has a winner's medal in the league that we're in. That's what we want. We want to win this league. We're in it to win it. Why not? Shackleton has also made 3 appearances for England's under-20 team, making his debut in June 2019. What will he give the Lions? Shackleton has shown in the past few campaigns that he is flexible. The new Millwall loanee played a fair few games for Jesse March's side at the right back last year during Luke Ayling's spell on the sidelines. That could come in handy if Daniel McNamara gets injured or experiences a drop in form. Leeds fans are disappointed. It's always a good sign when the fans of the team that the player has been out are disappointed with their exit, even if the departure is only on a temporary basis. It shows that Millwall, just like with the addition of Cresswell, have signed a really impressive young prospect. Shackleton made 14 appearances for Leeds last season in the Premier League. Plenty of Leeds fans would have liked to see him stay and fight for his place in their side. Leeds pretty much a team similar to Millwall, where they appreciate the homegrown players. If they're good enough, they want them to play. They give them a boost. They want them in the side. Reaction to the deal. I'm going to read from Gary Rowetts in another story, so let me move on to the Jamie Shackleton. Shackleton, I spoke to him, Gary Rowetts, a couple of times before we realised it was the right decision for everyone. You get a good feeling. I like to get stuck in and get around and cover as much of the pitch as I can. I played in the Championship with Leeds and had a good season. We managed to get promoted. That should be the aim, to do that at Millwall. So, let's hear from Gary Rowetts on signing of Jamie Shackleton. This is from MillwallFC.co.uk. Millwall boss Gary Rowetts commented on the arrival of Jamie Shackleton. The 22-year-old midfielder became the Lions' 5th signing of the summer transfer window on Tuesday morning. On a season-long loan, adding versatility to the manager's squad ahead of the 22-23 campaign. Speaking to MillwallFC.co.uk, Rowetts complimented Shackleton's energy and stated how the Leeds United man will offer flexibility to a squad gaining depth. Jamie is one we've been aware of for a couple of weeks, he said. He's a great addition for us. He has bags of energy and a good experience for a 22-year-old. That's what I said. He's played well over 50 games for Leeds, and now I'll be looking for more regular game time. A lot of those have come through impacting the game late on. He's got great energy. The beauty for me is that he's a player who offers you energetic non-stop play in the middle of the pitch. That's his best position, in my opinion, in one of those 3 midfield positions. Hang on, we only play 2 in midfield, so what's that about? Either the 2 deeper ones or the number 10. Oh, okay. So he's okay. However, he's also played at right back and right wing back in the Premier League, so he offers flexibility. So basically, Ryan Leonard must be shitting himself, because that's basically Ryan Leonard's position: centre midfield and back up right back. So where does that leave Ryan Leonard and George Evans? With Ryan Leonard, George Saville, George Honeyman, Billy Mitchell more able to fill Millwall's injury room, competition for places is rife, something that the manager has decided. We want competition for places. We've got 4 very good midfielders and 2 very good number 10s. There are 4 forwards of different ability, and you need that competition for places in a team as it pushes players on. when you see a new player come through the door, you know you've got to up your game and stay in the team. It's as simple as that. Jamie will add to that, like all the signings. They've come here because they want to play and be in a team. If you look at our squad now, you're starting to see a bit more depth, some increased athleticism and options. That's what we want. We want to be a team that presses, runs and puts pressure on teams, plus improves our quality in the final third. With just over 10 days to go until the start of the Sky Bet Championship season, the boss assess the situation of his squad heading into the opener against Stoke City. It's only 10 days away. Oh, it creeps up on you, doesn't it? I'm really happy with where we are at the moment. We've got some decisions to make on one or two of the younger players with regards to letting them go out on loan or develop. Where we're also hoping to add one, maybe two players in different areas. The preseason games give you an indication of what you need to kick on again. Indeed. Now, he's saying more signings. Do we need more signings? We have been linked with another signing, a pretty incredible one. If we are genuinely if we're trying to win this league, then this is a signing you want to make. This guy is an absolute machine, goal scoring machine at this level. And like again, I say again, Dwight Gayle, this is who it is. In the Championship, he's a superstar. In the Premier League, he's alright, he's so-so. We've seen it with a guy at Fulham as well, him. He broke the record this season. You know next season he's going to struggle to get goals. It's a different gravy, the Championship and the Premier League, but this guy, in the Championship, is an absolute superstar. He's a goal machine. His name is Dwight Gayle, if you don't know. And I think he's at Bournemouth now. Let's have a read. So this is from Football Insider. Now, to be fair, they have got two predictions right so far in terms of linking players with Millwall that have had to come off. They got the two Leeds lads proper. So I think they may have connections up north. Oh no, he's at Newcastle United. So let's read this. Birmingham City, Huddersfield Town and Millwall in 5-club race to sign Dwight Gayle. Again, five teams in the Championship. Surprisingly, it's not better teams. It's not Sheffield United. Would they not want to be involved? They have the money. It's not Norwich. Or he's been there before. I think he was at Norwich. It's not better teams. It's not West Brom. So that's kind of weird. It's even Reading. Reading are thrown there into the ring. They're really on a struggling situation. Reading. But we'll see what happens. So Birmingham, Huddersfield, Preston, Reading and Millwall are in a 5-club race to sign Newcastle United striker Dwight Gayle, sources have told Football Insider. Now don't forget, apparently Millwall have had contact with Newcastle United about Elliot Anderson. We requested a loan way back in May. We got in there early saying if this lad's available, we'll have him on loan because he was at League 2 and he was an absolute star at that. So said, well, come try him in the Championship, let him come play for Millwall. So we are talking to Newcastle United. So then maybe they've said, yeah, I'll tell you what, you interested in Dwight Gayle because he might be available. So we know there's a link there. We know there's a conversation going on between Newcastle and Millwall. Eddie Howe has given a green light to the 32-year-old leaving this summer after demoting him to train with his club's under-23 side. Oh, that's a bit harsh. All of these clubs have all registered their interest in Gayle as they look to sign a proven striker before the window shuts. He would be basically a Phobie Mark II. But probably, to be fair, based on his history, better than a Phobie, I think. It's kind of different than a Phobie, but I think he's got a better goal scoring record than a Phobie. I don't know, I might have to check that out. Meanwhile, Football Insider revealed earlier this month, Middlesbrough, I don't give a shit about Middlesbrough. Gayle failed to start a single league game during the 21-22 season. So he didn't play a game last season. Or he didn't start a game last season. He may have been come off the bench. His contract at St James's Park runs until June 2024. He's notched 59 goals and 16 assists across 100 Championship appearances. That is insane. 60 goals out of 100 games. The London-born ace, does that give us an advantage? I don't know. I don't know. Yes, Gale's impressive record in the second tier means second tier sides are queuing up to sign the former Crystal Palace star ahead of the new campaign. Absolutely. I mean, like I said, in this league he's an absolute star. In the Premier League, I don't know what, for whatever reason, he struggles. I think maybe in the Premier League you need to have a bit more about you. You need to be more well-rounded. You can't be a one-trick pony. You can't have. You need to do more, be more. And you can't just rely on certain aspects, basically pace or whatever, or physicality, height. You need to be more rounded. If you're not, because most teams genuinely only play one up front, and you can't play one up front if they're not the full package. Huddersfield fell in the playoff final last season and will look to Gayle as they aim to go one step further in their quest for Premier League football. Meanwhile, relegation candidates Birmingham and Reading are targeting a veteran as they look to avoid the drop in 22-23. So yeah, it's basically at the top of the league is Huddersfield and Millwall, and Birmingham and Reading are at the bottom of the league. So now I assume this is going to be a loan move because he's probably going to be a fair old wedge, and it will be basically take him on loan and take some of the wages. But I mean, man, if we sign him, you've got to be looking at the top two for Millwall, haven't you? You must be. You must be. If we sign him, you're looking at top two for Millwall. It's the optimism's going to be off the charts. You've got a solid defence, decent goalkeeper. We've improved the midfield with George Honeyman, Jamie Shackleton, and now we're going to bring in a superstar striker in this league who scored 60 goals in 100 games. I can't see why none of the other title contenders are in for him. To be honest, he's guaranteed, and they could afford him easily. I don't know why they're not. Maybe he's a bit too old for them. I don't know, but if you can get him on loan, I mean. Now Middlesbrough, Newcastle's close to Middlesbrough. Would they try and sign him? They've just sold someone, Jed Spence, to Tottenham. Maybe they could sign him. They could probably afford him. If they do, I mean, then basically Millwall and Middlesbrough over these last couple of years basically competing with each other. You see it quite often when the transfer stories linking us with players. They always say Middlesbrough and Millwall and Middlesbrough are interested in this player. I can't see why they're not interested in him. But we will see. I don't know. We will see. If this happens, I mean, fucking hell, you've got to be. We're going to be looking at packed out dens, away sales, selling out every game, even crazy games on midweek all the way up in the northern land. This is going to be off the charts. The optimism. This is incredible. I mean, it's incredible. Now here's the thing. Maybe it doesn't happen, but here's the thing. The squad that we've got has improved a fair bit. If we're there or thereabouts in January when that transfer window opens, and we do need to bring in a player or two to just put the cherry on top and get it done, you've got to think we will be in a position to do that. But yeah, this is incredible. So let's get on to the news from injury news ahead of tomorrow's game. So yeah, we've got players injured already. I think it's just precaution. You don't want to stress them too much. Players can play with knocks if they're mild, but you don't really want them to be doing that in the pre-season. So here we go from news@den.co.uk. 2 Millwall players missed training. Striker returns. Gary Rowetts confirmed that 2 senior players did not take part in training on Monday morning. Mason Bennett was substituted at half-time against Colchester United after coming off worse for wear in the challenge with Ryan Clampin, while George Honeyman picked up a knock later in the same match. Neither have been able to return to training yet, and the Mill boss is keen for them not to be rushed back too early. Tom Bradshaw picked up an injury early on in the Lions' 2-0 win away at Dartford last week, meaning that he was left out of the squad for Friday's trip to Essex. The striker has since been able to resume first-team training, however, meaning that he will likely be involved in Wednesday's friendly against Hammarby. Speaking to News at Den, Rowetts provided an injury update ahead of the club's final 2 pre-season fixtures before the start of the Championship campaign. Bradders trained today. Mason didn't. George Honeyman didn't. Rowetts said. Honeyman just took a whack in the game that swelled up a little bit and stiffened up. We're hopeful that George will train on Tuesday, and that Mason might not be far behind. We'll probably have a debate on Mason as to whether we take a risk in the game on Wednesday again. A dead leg can sometimes be a bit nasty if you come back too quick. At the moment, everyone's had good training time, everyone's had reasonably good match minutes, pretty similar apart from some of the younger ones. Therefore, we can afford to be sensible with one or two decisions we're making, which is basically not to risk anyone getting a further injury and being out for longer. Indeed, indeed. There's no mention there of Ryan Leonard. I think so. This is from London News Online. It wasn't mentioned in that one, so this was obviously some new information. So Ryan Leonard is a doubt to feature for Millwall in their friendly against Hammarby on Wednesday night. The Lions look set to include Leeds United midfielder Jamie Shackleton in their squad. So if you want to see Jamie Shackleton, £10 a ticket, go get down to the Den tomorrow and watch the Hammarby game. He was undergoing his medical this morning ahead of a season-long loan switch. Where did they talk about Ryan Leonard's? Where are they talking about Ryan Leonard? So Gary, it's not in any of the quotes from Gary Rowetts, so that's probably why it wasn't included in the News at Den piece. Let's see, is it here? No, but they start the story with Ryan Leonard the doubt, but it's not mentioned by Gary Rowetts. Okay, bit weird. Don't know. Nah. What are you going to do? So, today was the under-23s first pre-season friendly. They smashed Dulwich Hamlet of the Conference South 3-1, which is a pretty impressive result. The attendance was 346. Transport was absolutely effed up. A lot of people were scared because of the sun and the heat, and apparently a lot of non-league games were postponed that were supposed to be played today. So this one was carried on and kept going ahead. By the time the game kicked off, it was a lot cooler. The wind was blowing in, and the wind blew in a massive rain cloud. That torrential rain for about 5 or 10 minutes during the game in the second half, and cooled everyone down. So that was really the heat. It was still hot, but the heat really wasn't a problem. And this is from footballwebpages.co.uk. It's the Dulwich Hamlet 1 Millwall 3 page that was being pushed by Dulwich Hamlet's Twitter, and they were updating this as the match was going on. So you can see here Tom Lee, he scored in 28 minutes. Seb Drozd had the second just before half time, and right at the end of the game Kamal Grant came on and scored the third after Dulwich Hamlet scored around the hour mark. Calvin Lumbomba Kalala. And it was pretty much 22 players for it looks like for Dulwich Hamlet, and for Millwall nearly all of the players were subbed off except for Hayden Muller, Alex Mitchell and Abdul Malik. And we had, how many is that? Six trialists. A, B, C, D, E, F. Yeah, that's 6. Just have to use my fingers to count it there. So we had 6 trialists, including the trialist goalkeeper, which started. I have no idea who any of these players are, but I'm pretty sure they're youth players looking to sign for the under-23s. We just signed Shamal Lawson, who played in that game, who started the game. Yeah, pretty impressive result against the full-grown men's team. They had trialists as well. They had 5 trialists. So to beat a Conference South team, pretty impressive. What else can I say? So what I was going to say, just interesting to see who played of the under-23 players. So obviously we have Hayden Muller and Alex Mitchell, who were involved in the first team games and whatnot. They actually started in this game. Isaac Loffey didn't. Now, in yesterday's video, I told you about Gary Rowetts speaking very highly of Isaac Loffey, so you would expect to see him in tomorrow's game. Now, why is that? Is that because there are injuries that we've just heard about for the first team, so they've kept Isaac Loffey for that? Or is it because the under-23s were short in defenders, so they wanted Muller and Mitchell to play? Now, last season I told you, when Ben Thompson was playing for the under-23s, he was playing pretty much every game. It's constant. And then people were saying, well, why aren't the other players who aren't playing? Like Conor Mahoney, he played in a couple, Bodvarsson, why weren't they played in a few? And then Gary Rowetts said, well, we make the players available to the Kevin Nugent, the under-23 manager, and it's up to him if he wants them or not. Because if he's got players injured or missing or players out on loan, and he needs a space to be filled, yeah, then he'll take a first team player and put them in. But he doesn't want to bring first team players in unless he gets told to play them by Gary Rowetts, I suppose. But he doesn't want to bring them in to take the place of a young lad who needs to play. That's not fair on a young lad. So that's the reason why some players played in under 23 games last season and some didn't. So it might be this same case here. It might not be an aspersion on Muller or Mitchell that they were playing in this game, or maybe it isn't. Maybe it is. Maybe they are set to go out on loan again. Maybe Isaac Loffey's done enough to impress Gary Rowetts that he stays in the squad. Now, if we sign Dwight, Gayle, I'm pretty sure that's not going to be the case. That Isaac Loffey will go out on loan, because obviously we need, to try and claw back some of that money. It obviously won't be a lot, but to get Hayden Muller, Alex Mitchell, Isaac Loffey out on loan, to get a club to pay some of those wages, so we can free up some budget to help balance the books a bit. But there you go, Muller and Mitchell featuring for the under-23s tonight in a 3-1 win against Dulwich Hamlet. There you have it. Just going on to tomorrow's game, we've already mentioned it a bit. It is being broadcast on MillwallTV for half the cost of a ticket. A ticket will cost you £10 if you are an adult human person, and if you are not, it will cost you less if you're a child or whatnot. And if you are a lazy bastard and don't want to get down there, or you can't get down there, can't get babysitter, it's easier just to not, you can watch it on MillwallTV for £5, so half the cost of a ticket. How you do that is you need to log in with a Millwall profile. You need to go to matches, click on the match centre for the Millwall Hammarby game, and then you can see there where it says watch live. I've already paid my fee for this, and it will say you need to click where it says upgrade your streaming subscriptions. You click on that, and you click on that and you pay your £5. Okay, so now one thing I would say, I've done this numerous times now, I don't know if it's because MillwallTV is a new enterprise. I think it's a separate payment system. Every time I've done this so far, I have to approve it through my credit card company. It's really fucking annoying. Not only that, but for some reason they put through a test payment. They put through a nil pound, £0 0 pence payment on my credit card as a little tester. They've done that each time I've done this. I don't know what's going on with that. Can we sort that out? Because by them doing that, I have to approve it on my credit card. It's kind of annoying. So it would be good if they didn't do that. But again, now here's the thing as well. This is the first chance that we get to see a Millwall production for MillwallTV. The one before was Colchester United and BBC Essex joint production. The sound was absolutely atrocious on that. The Crystal Palace one, that was from Crystal Palace. They did set up a camera. I don't know if they set that up for Millwall, or Millwall bought their own camera and set it up, or what happened there. This is the first time we're going to see what we're going to be getting this season at home games. Millwall production. What's happening? Now I imagine they're not going to do the full thing. They might just do the camera. They might not just do the commentary and camera. They probably won't do any pre-match thing. I don't care about that. I don't listen to the pre-match. I really don't care about that. Normally I just mute it or don't watch it on any game I'm watching, Millwall game, any other game. So the one thing that would be interesting is graphics, clock, scoreline, instant replays. So we're going to see now, what are we getting from Millwall TV, from their own in-house production. What will it be? Will be interesting to see that. But like I said, if you want to watch it, it's £5. You can got to log in, pay for it. If not, if you're going down there, £10 a ticket. Not bad, not bad. It's going to be a lot cooler and should be good. The whole of the Kitchener stand is open for Millwall fans. If you get one in the lower, you might be able to get a signature or a signing selfie, something like that. Up to you. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.